Hey, have you ever wanted an amazing set of chiseled abs that just look awesome, but are at the same time very strong and functional? Wow, you landed in the right place, because this video is for you. Hello people, and welcome to my channel where I teach you how to forge a steel. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 best abdominal exercises for beginners. They are going to target the rectus abdominis, the area that people often refer to as six-pack, and the obliques, these nice looking little guys on the side here. If you already have strong abs and these feel a little bit too easy for you, then please go to my channel and search for Advanced Ab Exercises. And here's a quick preview of what we are going to do today.
We are gonna start with the exercise that I simply call a star. What a cool name, right? And it equally targets both rectus abdominis and obliques. Next one is elbow to knee, which is also going to target both rectus abdominis and obliques. Then we have a supported V-fold, and if you follow my instructions, it's going to target whole rectus abdominis. After V-folds, we've got a similar exercise that I call a supported knee hugs. Similar principles apply to this one, and it also targets whole rectus abdominis. Fifth one is going to be a hanging knee raises. This one usually focuses on lower part of the rectus abdominis, but if you follow my instructions and do it correctly with full range of motion, you'll get nearly equal upper ab activation. Next on the list is toe touches. Very nice exercise for targeting primarily upper part of the rectus abdominis. And last but not least is going to be heel touches. Very nice and simple exercise that focuses on targeting obliques. Of course, it puts solid pressure on rectus abdominis too.
I will show you how to do these exercises. I'm going to show you correct technique, and I'm going to mention the most common mistakes associated with them so you can avoid them. And why I choose these out of like thousands of abdominal exercises is simply that they give you the best results for the time and the effort that you will put in them. And that's because of the first, they are straightforward, beginner-friendly, easy to do exercises. Second, they have very good range of motion exercises. And if you stick with my channel, you'll see that I'm very big advocate for the full range of motion, because great range of motion is very important for maximizing your gains, also for the good joint health. The third one is that the level of difficulty of these exercises can be easily adjusted to everybody's current level of strength. Now jump to exercises. I'm going to show you correct technique and how to properly execute them. Let's go!
So, first, a star. Targets rectus abdominis and oblique muscles. Lay on your back with your arms above your head and spread your arms and legs apart, sort of like a starfish, and keep them straight. Your arms, legs, and shoulders should be off the ground, really close but not touching it. That's the starting position. From there, you should lift opposite leg and arm and reach for your toes with your hand. And on eccentric, when you lower them down, don't drop all the way to the ground, but reset to the starting position where legs, arms, and shoulders are close to the ground but not touching the ground. Keep arms and legs wide apart whole time during the exercise. Also, don't just drop down quickly like a sack of potatoes after you reach for the toes, but try to control eccentric and lower down as slow as possible, because it's very important part of the exercise. If you don't have enough of strength to do it with legs and arms off the ground, you can lower down the foot that is opposite to the foot that you're lifting and press on the ground with it the moment you are about to lift leg and arm, and lift it off the ground on eccentric. If it's still too hard, you can keep both feet on the ground, which will help you to reach for those toes. Or if it's still too hard, you can start with both feet and hands on the ground. But keep in mind that the goal is to reach the point where you're able to do exercise with legs, arms, and shoulders off the ground whole time. So, if you have to start with the easiest variation with both of your feet and hands on the ground, then progress towards the harder variation with only your feet on the ground. Then one foot on the ground at the moment of lift, and then full form of the exercise with your arms, legs, and shoulders off the ground as soon as you gain the strength to do it. Don't bend arms and legs while doing exercise. It's very important to keep them completely straight all the time. And don't worry if in the beginning you can't reach for the toes. It might take some time to get the required strength. So in the start, you might only be able to reach for mid-shin, then upper shin, then ankle, then midfoot, and then the toes. But keep in mind to always try to reach as high as possible and chase that perfect technique. Next up is elbow to knee. This one also targets rectus abdominis and oblique muscles. Start with your feet on the ground and your knees bent. Place one foot over the opposite knee. Put your hands behind the head and lift your arms and shoulders slightly off the ground. This is the starting position. From there, you should try to reach for your knee with the opposite elbow. The difficulty of this exercise can be adjusted by 1. Placing the grounded foot further or closer to your butt. The further away it is, the harder it will be because the more effort you need to put in to reach for the knee, which gives you that nice abdominal squeeze. And 2, positioning the knee of the lifted leg further or closer to your head. The closer it is, the easier it is due to less range of motion. And the more further away it is, the harder. But I don't recommend adjusting this one. Keep your knee mid-distance, approximately 45 degrees, and keep it locked there. And move your grounded foot further or closer to adjust the difficulty. And the difficulty should be intense enough so you can hardly touch the knee and do around 10 reps to failure. Failure is the point where you physically can't do another rep due to extreme fatigue. You have to twist your body while reaching for the knee. Don't lift your body straight up. One thing that will help with that is to spread your elbows wide apart and keep them as wide as possible the whole time. Don't let them come together. And don't keep bringing the knee closer to your head. Keep it locked in one position and focus on reaching toward it with your elbow. The goal is to bring the elbow to the knee, not the knee to the elbow. So make sure to keep that in mind. After you reach the knee with your elbow, don't just drop back down quickly. Instead, control the movement and lower yourself as slowly as possible. And when you lower down, don't rest your shoulders or arms on the ground. Lower them close to the ground, but keep them floating just above it. No relaxing between reps. And don't move the bottom foot as you are reaching for the knee. Keep it grounded in one place. And now, supported V-folds. This is by far the best beginner to intermediate exercise when it comes to targeting whole rectus abdominis from top to bottom because it doesn't put any load on spine and it also trains the hip flexors, which is very important to train together with the abs. Lay on your back with your legs closed and place your hands next to your torso. Lift the legs and upper body off the ground slightly. This is the starting position. The more further you put your hands, the harder it is to do the exercise, and the closer you put them to your shoulders, the easier. So choose the difficulty for your current strength level. Try your best to keep your legs completely straight all the time. Your knees should be locked. Fold as much as possible. Try to get your chest to your knees and fold approximately at 90-degree angle to the ground. Don't lift your legs while keeping your upper body down, and don't lift your upper body while keeping your legs down. Try to lift both legs and upper body simultaneously and also simultaneously lower them down. And don't drop your legs to the ground on your way down, but lower them as close to the ground without actually touching the ground. Also, get your upper body as low as possible without scapulas resting on the ground to get that amazing stretch while keeping the constant tension. And after reaching peak concentric chest to knees, don't just relax and drop legs and upper body fast, but control eccentric and lower your legs and upper body slowly with control. Please try to avoid partial reps if you can, but do full range of motion reps instead to maximize the gains. And keep head in neutral position to maintain a good posture. Look up on eccentric. Of course, this all will be very hard to execute in the beginning due to lack of strength and flexibility, so your technique might not be as clean and you will have your knees a little bit bent on your way up and your range of motion might be limited, so you might not be able to go all the way up chest to knees. But try your best to follow the rules and chase the perfect technique and you'll get there very soon, trust me. Now, if you don't have enough of strength to do this exercise with full range of motion, you can keep your upper body up supported by hands and lift your legs up and down with full range of motion while going up and down with your upper body with limited range of motion, and increase that range of motion more and more as you're getting stronger. And the goal is to do exercise with both legs and upper body going all the way down and up with knees being straight. But I would suggest doing the next exercise, supported knee hugs with full range of motion, until you build enough of strength so you can do V-folds with full range of motion instead of doing it with limited range of motion. This exercise progresses into V-folds, so once it becomes too easy for you, please go and check my Advanced Abdominal Exercise video to learn how to do V-folds properly. Now, let's talk about similar exercise that I call supported knee hugs. This one is a bit easier, therefore, if you don't have enough of strength to do V-folds, I suggest you to do this one. As with V-folds, hand placement will mainly dictate the difficulty of the exercise. The closer they are, easier. The further they are, harder. Bend your legs at knees and try your best to bring your chest to your knees and then lower down to starting position. And on your way down, get your upper body as low as possible without scapulas touching the ground. And straighten your legs completely. Lock your knees. Don't drop your feet to the ground. Keep them off the ground all the time. Don't lift your legs high, but keep them very close to the ground at all times. And as with V-folds, after you reach peak concentric chest to knees, don't relax and drop down to starting position quickly, but control your way down and lower upper body and legs slowly with control. Also, don't just bend your legs while keeping your upper body steady. Fold legs and lift upper body at the same time. It should look like an accordion. Please avoid partial reps. Do everything with full range of motion. If you don't have enough of strength to do it with full range of motion, then you can lift your upper body and move it slightly up and down while bending and straightening your legs with full range of motion. And go lower and lower with your upper body as you are getting stronger. And the goal is to reach the point where you can do it with full range of motion. This exercise also progresses into knee hugs, so once it becomes too easy for you, please go and check my Advanced Abdominal Exercise video to learn how to do knee hugs properly. And now, we'll talk about hanging knee raises. And done with right form, they target whole rectus abdominis. For this one, you will obviously need something to hang from, like a bar or a branch. The goal is to tuck your pelvis and round your spine while you're reaching for your chest with your knees to get that maximal rectus abdominis contraction. The most important thing regarding this exercise is to not swing. Keep your body as steady as possible and don't swing back and forth, as it will make exercise basically useless. One thing that will help you with that is keeping eccentric slow. Don't relax and drop your knees down after reaching the chest, because by doing so, you will miss 50% of the exercise, but lower them down slowly with control. And try to pause for a bit when you reach chest with your knees. On your way down, you should get to the point where your body is in a straight line, perpendicular with the ground. Don't pass that line with your legs and go backward. That might also automatically make you swing. Don't engage your upper back in order to bring knees up, but use the strength of your abs and hip flexors to lift them. In the beginning, some of you might not be able to rise knees all the way up to the chest. And that's okay. The most important thing is to constantly try to lift them as high as you can. So in the beginning, you might only be able to lift them up to 90 degrees. And then progress higher and higher as you're getting stronger. And the goal is to lift knees all the way up to the chest with pelvis tucked in and spine being rounded. Always try to chase that perfect technique. And when you reach the point at which doing the full form of the exercise feels a little bit too easy for you, you can increase the difficulty by straightening up your legs at the end of the lift and lowering them straight all the way down slowly. So rise your knees regularly, and when you reach the highest point, straighten up your legs and lower them down slowly with control. And this is also progression towards the bar leg raises. Check my Advanced Abdominal Exercise video to learn about leg raises. Now, if you lose grip strength quickly after a couple of sets, or you don't have grip strength at all to perform this exercise, you can try to do knee raises on dip bars until you develop better grip strength. Pretty much the same key rules apply to this one. No swinging, keep steady, tuck pelvis in, knees to the chest, slow eccentric. And to increase grip strength, do a dead hangs. Simply hang from a bar or a branch until your grip gives in, rest a bit, and repeat for a few sets. Having a good grip strength is very important, especially for exercises such as pull-ups, inverted rows, tons of abdominal exercises, and many others throughout your journey. Next exercise on the list, toe touches. It focuses on upper abs. While laying on your back, lift your legs at approximately 90-degree angle to the ground. The position of your feet will dictate the difficulty of the exercise. The closer you bring them towards you, the easier will be to reach for the toes. And the more further away they are, the harder. So make sure to find the right angle for you so you can reach toes with difficulty and do around 10 to 15 reps to failure. It is absolutely important to not bend your your knees because it will make exercise useless. But lock your knees and keep your legs straight all the time. Also, don't try to bring toes closer to you as you're reaching for them. But after finding your difficulty, lock your legs in that place and put your best effort to reach for the toes with your hands. Don't leave your arms up while lowering your upper body, but lower them down backwards together with the upper body. And same with the concentric. Lift them together with the upper body. A good way to explain this is to imagine a straight line from your fingers that runs alongside your upper body to pelvis. And try to lift your hands and upper body together while minimally breaking that line. Don't relax and drop down fast after you reach for the toes, because you will miss 50% of the benefits of the exercise. But instead, as soon as you touch your toes, try your best to resist on your way down, trying to lower down as slow as possible. And keep the arms straight, elbows locked. Don't drop your upper body and arms on the ground when you lower them down, but keep your shoulders and arms off the ground all the time to keep that tension in the rectus abdominis. Don't position your legs at less than 90 degrees. If you don't have enough of strength yet to reach for your toes while your legs are at 90 degrees, that's alright. You can go for the midfoot, or ankle, or upper shin. So choose the difficulty for your current strength and progress higher and higher as you're getting stronger. And the end goal is to build up the strength so you can reach your toes while legs being at least at 90-degree angle or more. As always, try to chase that perfect technique and focus on all the rules given. And the last exercise we're talking about today is exercise that I like to call heel touches. This is amazing beginner exercise for targeting obliques. Lay on your back and bend your legs at knees while your feet are on the ground. Lift your upper body slightly with your hands being straight on the sides. This is the starting position. Bend your body sideways alternately while trying to touch your heels. There are two things that dictate the difficulty of this exercise. First, how far away you place your feet from your butt. The more further away you place them, the more you have to bend sideways to reach for the heels. Therefore, the harder the exercise will be. And vice versa, the closer you place them, the easier. And second thing that dictates the difficulty is how wide apart you place your feet. The wider apart they are, the easier will be to reach for the heels. And the closer together they are, the harder. So obviously, the hardest would be if you put feet far away and closer together, and easier if you bring them close and space them wide. But I suggest you to keep feet spaced at the shoulder width and just move feet further or closer to your butt to adjust the difficulty. You should make it hard enough so you can barely touch your heels and do 8 to 10 reps to each side to failure. Once you figured out the position that fits your difficulty level, it's very important to plant your feet in the ground and not move them during the exercise. Try your best to keep them grounded in one place and not move them. While doing this exercise, your scapulus and shoulders should be off the ground all the time. Don't drop down to the ground when you reset to the starting position after touching the heel. But keep shoulders and scapulus off the ground whole time while bending on the sides to keep that abdominal tension. Don't twist your upper body as you are reaching for the heel, but instead, try to keep your shoulders parallel to the ground whole time. Look up and bend sideways as much as possible to touch the heel.
And guys, as you can see, you don't need any fancy equipment or expensive yoga mats to build good abs. An old towel is enough. In fact, I've built my abs on this very towel. Legacy content, by the way. All you need is a good will. So, no excuses. Now, I would like to end this video by making it clear that these are the most effective exercises. If you enjoy doing anything that's not on the list, by any means, knock yourself out. Do what you like doing. I just want to make sure that it's clear that these ones are going to give you the best results for a time and the energy that you'll put in them in regards to abs. And I also have to warn you that isolating only abdominal muscles without training the rest of the core can lead to very big disbalances, which can later lead to very serious spinal issues. So we have to train whole core, and core involves many more muscles than just abdominal ones. If you want to learn more about that, and if you want a strong core, which you absolutely should want, please go to my channel and search for core workouts. That being said, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that I made everything clear for you, that you're going to start your journey of building those killer six-pack abs today. If I missed something, please let me know down in the comments. Also, comment below if you want to see any particular content in the future. Like video if you liked it. I don't know why would you dislike it. But above all, guys, please share this video so as many people as possible can have access to it. And don't forget to subscribe, not miss any future content. So you too can look like you're carved out of marble.